going on? Alright, I'm just chilling here. Oh man, the camera's not right. Let's see, yeah. Cutting my head off, that's okay. I just woke up. I make videos a lot when I first wake up, and I know I probably should like try and make myself look a little bit better, but this is when convenient for me. Nobody cares what I look like, I know, but at the same time, you know, I know I've seen videos like guys got the camera like right up in their face, and oh man, I just shut it right off because they're so ugly, you know. So, but anyway, look alright, I guess. I got the flannel on, flannel shirt. Okay, we've got Uriah Faber versus Frankie Edgar. Now, guys, both these fighters, in my opinion, I don't get excited to watch either one of them fight anymore. Not for years. Uriah Faber, back in the day, you know, he was kind of considered, you know, one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. I mean, I guess you could still say that, but he was, he'd been a real bust out, if you ask me. And same with Frankie Edgar. Like Frankie Edgar, we used to love him. We'd see him come back, and you know, how can you not like him? But I don't know. It's been a while. Like all those fights with Benson Henderson, and just I don't get excited to watch Frankie Edgar fight anymore. It was kind of a cool fight against Cub Swanson. That was kind of neat, but I don't get excited about either one of these guys. They're both super talented. We know that they're amazing, but I can't really put my finger on it other than, well, I know with Uriah Faber, when he laid down and turtled up against Brow and the fight was over, you know, but I really was kind of, I mean, I definitely have not been excited to watch him fight since then. I mean, he probably got a huge paycheck for that. You know, going there, I mean, all he had to do was just pop up or move. I mean, and then the fight was over. It's like, is this real? Is this for real? Like, is this like, what is going on here? So, I don't, for whatever reason, I just don't get excited to watch these guys fight. And I wasn't excited about this fight either. I was like, oh great, Frankie Edgar versus Uriah Faber. I was gonna make a video and just put, you know, just say who cares and then just shut it off. Because I mean, really, who cares who wins? But then I thought about it a little bit more, because some time's passed now, and this fight has potential to be a really good fight if Frankie Edgar just works Uriah Faber, or if Uriah Faber just completely works you know, Frankie Edgar. And I think if I had to choose who's going to win, I would pick Uriah. But how can you pick Uriah after that fight when he just turtled up like this? So that's what I'm saying. That neither one of these guys, I even care to watch fight. Actually, I just kind of just verified that while I'm talking about it just now. Because I was going to say, before I started the video, I was going to say, you know, okay, Uriah Faber just totally works Frankie Edgar. That's going to be impressive. But just like, that's a big if. I mean, these guys are both if. That's what these guys' careers have been. If they beat this guy, but they never do. It's like they just choke, or they're just missing something, man. They don't have. Frankie Edgar just doesn't have that hard-hitting power, you know, I don't know, man. It just, these guys have just both been really lame and stale, and I don't get excited about them. And I guess, yeah, I guess I'm going with my original thoughts on this one, man. It's like, who cares? Who cares who's gonna win? I mean, I really don't. That's my thoughts on that. I'll see you guys later. I mean, really, and when he turtled up like that in a championship fight, I would have cut him from the UFC. I would say, man, what is wrong with you? This early stoppage, dude. You're supposed to be a championship fighter. I mean, and these are guys that I liked. I used to be big fans of these guys. Carlos Condit. I was a big Carlos Condit fan. Not since the Nick Diaz fight. I don't care to watch the guy fight. You know, Daniel Cormier, I made a video on that. Him crying after losing. Not emotional, like, you know what I mean? Like crying like a baby. Like, just certain fighters, they do stuff, and you just don't ever really want to watch them fight again because they're not fighters. And I think that's, you know, if we want to watch stuff like that, we'll go watch, you know, professional baseball players go on strike or whatever mainstream sport that we don't watch anymore. At least I don't. I used to. But, you know, mixed martial arts was kind of a hardcore alternative to those sports. So if you're not going to be hardcore in mixed martial arts, then we don't want you here. At least I don't. But that's my thoughts on that. This fight does have potential to be an amazing fight. It really does. But both these guys always have potential to come out and have an amazing fight, but they just never do. They never do when it's important anyway. They'll look great in a fight, but whenever it counts, they just don't put it together. And I'm talking about in recent years. I'm not talking about 6-7 years ago. So, you know, that's my thoughts on that. You know, who really cares? But if I had to pick who's going to win, it's really hard. If Uriah shows up and doesn't do some of that nonsense, I really think he could light Frankie Edgar up. I mean, he's fast, and he's just, it's like everything why the guy should be an undefeated fighter and just be regarded as like the greatest fighter of all time, but he's just not. He just doesn't put it together. It's something that's something that's inside of you beyond your physical abilities and your skill levels. It's like Michael Jordan, super great, but what if every time it was clutch time, Michael Jordan choked, but he was still just as good and all his other, but he wasn't. When it was clutch time, he actually got better, and he was already the best. So he went from the best to even better, you know, rather than from the best to mid to like average, which is like what Uriah Faber does. He's like the best. He's amazing. But then when it comes time, boom, he comes down here. And that's the difference between champions and guys that are not champions. I've talked on this before. You know, that's the difference between guys like Faber and, you know, go 10 years and don't lose and fight in pride and fight, you know, they're not crying, they're not turtling up, they're not doing these things. And that's why the guy was a champion for, you know, it wasn't a champ for 10 years, but he was undefeated for 10 years, and that's why he's regarded as the greatest, you know, he is the greatest heavyweight of all time. And things like that. It's like, it's the skill, but you got to have something a little bit beyond that. And neither one of these guys do. So, a good fight may come of that, though. You know, when it comes to clutch time, they might both just drop down and still be at the same level. We might get a good fight out of it. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be a boring decision fight. That's what I think is going to happen, and that's my thoughts on that. I don't even know why I made a video, but I don't know. And I just felt like making a video. All right, I'll see you guys later.